better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
Get the Sonata for $169 a month or up to $3,000 total savings. Hurry in now for these great offers.
Good morning, America. New overnight, Pink Power. The women's marches on President Trump's doorstep.
Welcome to your first day. We will not go away.
Across the country and around the world.
This girl is on fire.
Mothers, daughters, and grandmothers marching to be heard, coming together to send one massive message.
Blasting the media, President Trump's new fight with the press.
They are among the most dishonest human beings on earth.
Taking issue with reports on attendance numbers at his inauguration. The president's press secretary then giving reporters a tongue lashing. As Trump heads to the CIA, his new attempt to mend fences with the intelligence community being criticized this morning.
Killer tornado, the twister that tore a deadly path, killing at least 4 people. Roofs ripped to shreds.
This is what's left of our house.
The severe weather outbreak right now with 40 million Americans in the danger zone.
And dramatic rescue. 2 women swept into the swirling sea, thick foam hampering efforts to save them. One man who jumped into the dangerous water with the lifeguards to help, speaking out right here this morning.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
And good Sunday morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We got a full house here at GMA. Speaking of houses, President Donald Trump wakes up in his house, the White House, for his second full day in office. He will be confronting images, however, like this. Hundreds of thousands of women and men hitting the streets.
They were marching not only in Washington, but also in cities across the country and the world. There are more than 600 marches on 7 continents. We've got an image of a small protest, in fact, in Iraq. And at the main march in Washington, this image of 3 generations from the same family going to the march together.
The new president, meantime, made a visit to the CIA headquarters where he aimed to mend fences with the intelligence community, but he spent much of his time at the podium, however, blasting the media for the coverage of the size of the crowds of the inauguration on Friday.
Yeah, and then his press secretary doubled down in an extraordinary first appearance in the briefing room, lashing out at the media, setting a fiery tone for this new administration.
And we do have team coverage this morning, but we're going to start with ABC's Matt Gutman, who was right out there covering the marchers in Washington. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Paula. You might call it the anti-inauguration. Well over 1 million people spilled into cities nationwide to roar their protest to the election of President Trump on his first full day on the job. And while the protest here in Washington, D.C. was permitted for about 200,000 people, so many more spilled into the city that it seemed like it was besieged by an army of people in pink beanies.
By the hundreds of thousands, they streamed into the National Mall.
Hey, hey, ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go!
A sea of protesters bobbing in their pink beanies, waving placards condemning President Donald Trump in his first full day in office.
Welcome to your first day. We will not go away.
And speaking out in support of women's rights.
My body, my choice.
Minute by minute, the crowd grew, bursting through the planned routes and boisterously spilling out into the city's side streets. The transit systems jam-packed. The scale was global. On every continent, they turned out, from Kenya to Sydney, Australia, to Antarctica. In the president's hometown of New York, 400,000 demonstrated.
We're still going.
So many that police had to open up additional streets. Big turnouts in Los Angeles, Seattle, Atlanta, Chicago, and Miami. But all those protests anchored by that women's march on Washington.
This girl is on fire.
Headlined by the kind of A-list celebrities that snubbed the president's inaugural. Madonna, a surprise speaker, didn't hold back.
It took this horrific moment of darkness to wake us the up.
Ashley Judd, likely the most riled up.
We are here to be respected. Hell yeah!
The rally got Hillary Clinton's attention. She tweeted, "Thanks for standing, speaking, and marching for our values." And the creativity, the big bands, the giant globe, and so many pink crocheted hats.
People are converging here from every which direction, everybody moving towards the White House.
Along the way, old and young. 7-year-old Ellie from Maryland was riding on her Uncle Steve's shoulders.
Have you ever seen this many people in your life?
No.
Her uncle getting misty-eyed.
It's about the country that we're giving to her.
It was chaotic, but it also seemed cathartic. And while President Trump wasn't around for much of the time that those thousands of people surrounded the White House, it seemed they sent a message that was impossible not to hear. The question is this the start of a national movement or just a one-off grand event? Paula, Dan?
It's the big question that everyone's exploring, but that image from Antarctica, can't get that one out of your mind. Global involvement. Matt, thank you very much.
Several continents.
That's right. And while the marches across the country were blanketed with celebrities and activists, they were also filled with everyday Americans inspired to take action. And ABC's Gloria Riviera is in Washington for us this morning with some of the reasons these Americans marched. Hi, Gloria.
Good morning, Paula. Inspired is right. I have to tell you what struck me was seeing so many generations marching together, some with canes, some in strollers. These are the signs they carried. So many women telling me when they were young, they knew the world was changing, but they didn't have anyone in their lives encouraging them to march. Those women wanted to make sure their daughters and granddaughters do.
This is what democracy looks like.
In Los Angeles, the Women's March brought ecstatic nostalgia.
Haven't done this since the 70s.
We are united!
In Raleigh, North Carolina, it was a reminder.
It's important to fight for what's right and what you believe in.
And in Washington, D.C., it was a seminal moment for the Imbriano Allen family.
I'm so proud of her. She made her own sign.
Girls are people too.
This march marking 7-year-old Max's own introduction to activism.
It's very exciting in some ways, and in other ways, you know, you kind of wish you didn't have to be here.
Max now following in the footsteps of her mom, Pierre, and both grandmothers.
It's 3 generations, and fortunately, I've been given the tools and the strength to be able to teach her how to keep moving.
The family setting out from New York for the National Mall at 1 a.m., joining so many others to take part in the demonstrations. The lesson passed down from one generation to the next: stand up and be heard.
She has a little political bent herself already because
I wonder where she gets that from. So many families echoing that same sentiment, that there was a feeling of a national collective passing of the torch, bringing the young ones into the fold. That was so important for them on that day. And let me tell you, the matriarch generation not going anywhere, still feisty and still fighting. Dan, Paula?
Gloria, thank you. As we said, President Trump used his first full day in office to pay a visit to the CIA headquarters, where he stood in front of a wall covered in stars, honoring agents killed in the line of duty. The new president used the opportunity not only to praise the intelligence community, but also to slam the media for the coverage of the inauguration, a message then hammered home by his press secretary in a fiery appearance. And ABC's Mary Bruce is at the White House covering the rather volcanic beginnings of this new administration. Mary, good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, Donald Trump promised to shake things up in Washington, and that he is. His first full day in office, and he's back to familiar fights, taking issue with media coverage of his crowds, and now falsely accusing the press of creating his feud with U.S. intelligence agencies. In his first remarks since Inauguration Day, the new president picked a new fight with the press.
They are among the most dishonest human beings on earth.
Speaking at CIA headquarters in Virginia, Trump took issue with reports that the National Mall wasn't as packed during his inauguration as it was for past ceremonies.
We had 250,000 people literally around, in the little bowl that we constructed. The rest of the, 20-block area all the way back to the Washington Monument was packed. So we caught them. And we caught them in a beauty, and I think they're going to pay a big price.
The White House is pointing to this photo taken from behind the podium, but this view shot from the Washington Monument as Trump delivered his remarks paints a different picture. There is no official crowd estimate.
Good evening.
A short while later, a fuming Press Secretary Sean Spicer took to the podium for the first time. His top order of business, giving reporters a tongue lashing.
These attempts to lessen the enthusiasm of the inauguration are shameful and wrong.
No fresh start for their relationship with the press, but Trump is trying to mend fences with the intelligence community.
There is nobody that feels stronger about the intelligence community and the CIA than Donald Trump.
Trump debuting a new tone after attacking the intelligence community for weeks, including accusing them of leaking unsubstantiated reports that the Russians were trying to blackmail him.
That's something that Nazi Germany would have done and did do. I think it's a disgrace. That information that was false and fake and never happened got released to the public.
The former CIA director John Brennan, who has sparred with Trump in the past, blasted his remarks. His spokesman tweeting that Brennan is deeply saddened and angered at Trump's despicable display of self-aggrandizement in front of the CIA's memorial wall of agency heroes, and that Trump should be ashamed of himself.
Now, while here at the White House, they certainly have a lot to say about the crowds at the inauguration, they still have not responded to the messages being sent by those demonstrators across the country. And guys, I was here in the briefing room for Spicer's fiery remarks last night. We tried, but he did not answer any questions. Dan, Paula?
Pretty unprecedented, Mary. Thank you. And we have the privilege of welcoming our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, to our den. John, great to have you this morning.
Great to be here.
First of all, you have spent a lot of years in that White House briefing room to not only call out the press, the new press secretary, Sean Spicer, but to refuse to take on any questions afterwards. Is this unprecedented? Have you ever seen anything like this before?
I went back to count. I've actually been in that briefing room with 10 different White House press secretaries over time, and I have never seen anything remotely like that. The idea of the White House press secretary, by the way, also on his very first day behind that podium, to go in there to issue the kind of tongue lashing he did, the lecturing. I've heard that before from press secretaries, personally, actually.
Yes.
But I have never heard of one going in there and then refusing to even answer a single question. Really amazing. He's not the president of the United States. He is the press secretary. His job is to answer questions.
Right.
Given the vast panoply of issues facing the administration and the world, why are they picking this issue, the coverage of the crowd size, to focus on?
It's a great question, and it's mystifying, except that I can tell you it's not new. I mean, Donald Trump has always had something of an obsession with the size of his crowds. And let's face it, this is a guy that attracted huge crowds consistently from the first day he was a presidential candidate. It's completely unnecessary. And by the way, you know, there are huge issues. That was an historic day on Friday. That was an historic speech. There are big questions. What's going to happen to Obamacare? Is he going to follow through on his promise of lowering health care costs, or are millions of Americans going to be deprived of their health insurance? What's going to happen on the international stage now that he's saying such a big break with past president China, Russia, and instead we're talking about crowd size? I would also say, Dan, it's a challenge for us in the news media not to obsess over it either. This is not an important issue. He had a big crowd. Whether or not it was bigger than who cares? He had a big crowd. Let's talk about the issues.
Let's all talk about the issues. Speaking of one of those issues, I can't help but remember on election night, Trump said, quote, "I want to be the president to all Americans." So does he plan on being the president to those millions of Americans that we saw marching across the country?
Well, I think that I think he does. I think that if you looked at the last third of his speech on Friday, there was an effort to reach out to others. And I think that he knows that that's a challenge, and the people at the White House know that's a challenge. This is not exactly the way to do it.
All right. John Karl, it's always great to have you. You want to stick around the rest of the show?
Yeah, why not? I'm here.
Come back for Pop News.
Yeah.
Please do. And a reminder, everybody, later this morning, George Stephanopoulos has a big show on this week. He'll speak with Kellyanne Conway about the first days of the Trump administration. Plus, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senator John McCain will also weigh in on the week ahead. John Karl, also will be lending his expertise. It's all coming up later this morning on This Week, right here on ABC.
We'll be watching. We do move on now, though, to the breaking weather news this morning. More than 40 million Americans in the threat zone right now. Tornadoes ripping through the south, and there's possibly more to come. We have team coverage, and we start with Rob, who's tracking it all. Hey, Rob, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Yet another morning of sad news from the Weather Department. At least 2 more fatalities across southern Georgia. This line of storms really doing some damage. Several more long-track tornadoes this morning, and maybe more to come. And behind that, another batch of rain, although not severe, heading into Mississippi. Hattiesburg, very hard hit yesterday, and that's where we find ABC's Adrienne Bankart this morning. Adrienne.
Yes, good morning to you, Rob. You can see behind me this church took a hit. The roof is gone. We saw parishioners taking out Bibles and hymnals, whatever they could find yesterday. Those folks will have to find someplace else to worship on this Sunday morning. Nearby Southern Miss's campus completely untouched, while another school nearby took a direct hit in the tornado's path. This morning, the city of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, devastated after a tornado destroyed homes. Winds of at least 136 miles per hour, ripping the roof off this church, uprooting trees and power poles, tossing trailers like toys.
I got stuff from nothing to survive.
Firefighters were able to rescue a woman trapped under her house. 4 people have been killed.
This is what's left of our house.
Here in the center of the destruction zone, Daryl McMorris is thankful his daughter didn't sleep in her bed. Her mattress thrown into a tree.
The next thing you know, everything just uprooted, tossed like a rag doll, and then slammed to the floor and everything on top of it.
McMorris's neighbor heartbroken after seeing the damage for the first time. The National Weather Service is saying this twister was likely on the ground for 15 miles. It's the same area hit by a violent EF4 tornado 4 years ago, a memory Hattiesburg Mayor Johnny Dupree knows firsthand. Mayor, you know exactly what it's like for a lot of these people who have nothing left.
I hate to say we know it too well, but the process is to make sure people are safe.
And more destruction at William Carey University. Buildings are crushed, cars are overturned, the roof of this lecture hall collapsed. The school is now closed until further notice.
They need to know that help is on its way.
And we want to be clear that Mayor Dupree lost his home back 4 years ago with that strong EF4 tornado, so he really knows how people feel right here. He says that folks who live in the affordable housing option of a trailer should not stay in those homes, but should get out with the tornado warnings and seek shelter. The Red Cross providing assistance here. Rob?
All right, Adrian, great advice we want to relay to the people this morning across Georgia and Florida. And now the SBC set to issue a rare high risk for northern Florida and South Georgia today. That means the possibility of long-track, strong tornadoes in the offing here as we go through time. So a dangerous situation as the back edge of this system begins to swing through, taps that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. Here we go by 7 o'clock tonight. Orlando, you're in the mix. The Carolinas, especially Charleston, you might see some strong storms here. And then we wind things up as we go overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. This becomes a coastal low. And so the mid-Atlantic, the Northeast really start to get hit with heavy rain here, even some snow in through interior sections. But I think the wind is going to be the biggest player with this as we go from about tomorrow morning through really Tuesday morning, especially along the coast. We have high wind warnings that are posted for gusts to near 70 miles an hour. That means along the I-95 corridor, we'll likely see some trees down and some power out. That is a quick check on the national headlines. Here now is your local forecast.
Good morning on this Sunday. I'm meteorologist Josh Knight. We're going to stay cloudy today, and we've got that early fog and mist once again. Our dense fog advisory for a lot of us until 10 o'clock. Later this afternoon and into the evening, rain is going to develop. Our heavier rain will be tomorrow, though. Just a high of 50 degrees, and it's a windy morning as well. Winds gusting on Monday morning up to 45 miles an hour. So not an easy day to get back into the swing of things. Here it is on your extended. The rain's here Sunday, Monday, and into early Tuesday, but by Wednesday, more sunshine and a high of 60.
All this talk of the east, a huge storm hitting California today, the last of 3 that's been really hitting the West Coast very hard. More on that in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, but we're going to begin in news headlines. Good morning, Ron, and I know you're going to kind of pick up where Rob left off.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning to you and good morning, everyone. We're going to begin with that nasty weather in California. In San Diego, in fact, where a powerful wave knocked 2 women from a cliff into the water. Rescuers frantically searching for them in surf that was as high as 10 feet. One bystander jumping in to help, he was able to pull one of the 2 women to safety.
I don't know. I got her and I threw her over my shoulder and I tried to carry her in and then we got washed out again a little bit.
It took lifeguards about 40 minutes to find the other woman. She is said to be in critical condition. And an air scare in Florida as a bomb threat causes a JetBlue flight from Newark, New Jersey to the Dominican Republic to make an emergency landing in Fort Lauderdale. This was Saturday afternoon. Airline officials say someone discovered a suspicious note with a bomb threat in one of the plane's bathrooms, so the flight was diverted as a precaution. Everyone having to get off that aircraft, go through security again while the aircraft was checked. No explosives were found. The flight eventually flying on to its destination. And now to an update on the health of George H.W. Bush, the former president, and wife Barbara. Word this morning that the former First Lady may be released from a Houston hospital where the couple has been recovering from illness. She could go home as soon as today. The 92-year-old former president, meanwhile, is said to be improving. Now breathing on his own after battling pneumonia, he's expected to remain in the hospital for a few more days. And in Brazil, almost 2 months since the